Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with women to help them find and keep the partners that they deserve. So normally I do my every Wednesday live Q&A. We're still on for tomorrow. I'm going to be posting that story in my stories when I'm done with this live. But I like to have other folks, other people who are in the industry, who may be working with other groups, to come on and to discuss what their perspective is, what they find when they work with their clients, what their experience has been, to give us some more insight on the dating and relationship scene. So let me first thank those who have joined the live. And if you are new to my page, this is the first time you've ever seen me go live, please go ahead and introduce yourself so that we can welcome you to the land of love. Hello, Shorty716. Thank you for joining us. We have I Heart Juju. Hello, hello. We have Loving Lele. Hello, thank you for joining. Gigi Lovely, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you. Thank you so much. I always appreciate you being here. Roland Phoenix 7. Hey, that's Tay. Hello, hello. And everyone else who is joining, welcome. We already have our guest. He is primed. He is ready. So we're going to go ahead and let him into the room. And then we're going to go ahead and get started on talking about, as well as what are men looking for, what are women missing. Okay, so again, thank you so much for everyone who is joining, and I appreciate you. Ray.
Hey, how are you?
How's it going, man? How's it going?
It's going good. What about yourself?
It's excellent. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's jump right in, because I know that time is of the essence. Dre, can you let us know who you are, who you work with, what you do? Tell us all the good stuff.
I am a dating / life / get your shit together coach for men. I speak specifically to men and for men. I believe that when men are weak, the society is weak, and so a lot of times men are broken through bad relationships, you know, based on the women that they choose to be with, and I kind of help them out through that. I think that's one of the main reasons most men are weak today, is because of failed relationships, whether it be relationships with their women or their mothers or whatever. And so I kind of help them, you know, either not avoid that or get past that, so we can be strong and bring some balance to the world. Yeah.
Excellent. I love it. I'm so glad that I found you. It was actually a follower of mine who added you underneath one of my comments, and I'm so glad that you responded to my DM. I really appreciate it. And the reason why specifically is because a lot of the times I speak and work with women, and so my advice is geared towards them, right? That's my experience. It makes sense. And then I got a lot of pushback that says, well, how come the men aren't doing any work? And where are the male coaches working with the men? And how come it's always the women that have to do? And I say there's plenty of male coaches out there. There are plenty of coaches that work with men. It's up to you to find them, and it's up to you to listen to them or not. So I'm so glad that I came across you, because you are the evidence that says that there is a platform and there is an opportunity for men to seek help from men. So I'm so glad that we were able to connect.
Appreciate that. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Appreciate that.
So let's get right into it. What is some of the core pieces of advice that you are offering men today on the dating scene?
I wouldn't say there's a core, because I deal with pretty much everything from dating to relationships. I deal with guys who virgins, guys who get out of relationships. But if I had to pick a core, I would say the man in the mirror. So like, all of your problems begin with you. Oh, she cheated on me. Well, you picked the cheater. She's doing this. Well, you allowing it. So I would say the core of my message is what you don't do and who you don't deal with. And, you know, getting yourself and building yourself to the type of man who can command the things that you want in life, and not settling for you know, I don't want to curse, but can I curse on you? On your thing?
A little bit.
Okay. Let's say low vibrational and low quality women. I say that. You know, a lot of these guys don't work on themselves, and so they tend to attract the worst of the worst. Right? And again, not the core of my thing is to not be that guy. Right? Learn how to see that. Learn how to not be that. Because when those guys get taken advantage of, they take advantage of a woman. It's just a vicious cycle. Then that woman, you know, hurts somebody, and that man hurts somebody. It's just a vicious cycle. So the core is basically the man in the mirror.
Understood. So you mentioned low value. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask, how would you define a low value woman? How do you define a low value man?
I don't really do the term like low value, and because value is subjective. You know, I'm in low. I think I said low vibrational or low quality, like not even quality, but low vibrational, meaning doing things that's not healthy, or living in a way that's not healthy to, you know, a positive peace of mind, a positive bank account, you know, positive feelings, living in a way that's not conducive to a happy life. That's what I mean, like low vibrational. But I don't like to rank things in high value and low value and stuff like that, because what's valuable to me may not be valuable to you. Is a woman that's, you know, there's a woman that's on the corner with her man begging for change. That's valuable in her eyes. That man is valuable in her eyes, right? But to you, that man is a piece of crap, like that's sitting on the corner begging. I'm not saying for you, but to a lot of women, that man is not valuable. So yeah, I don't like to do the value thing, but I would say low vibrational.
Understood. Okay. So what are some of the mistakes that gentlemen are making on the dating scene?
Overextending themselves way too fast. That's probably 75% of the problem I get. What happens is men meet a woman, and I'm gonna preface this by saying most guys are not players, and most guys are not good with women like guys like me. Most guys are not like that. Although a lot of women think that because that's all they deal with, but the overwhelming large majority of men are not like that, right? So most guys don't know what they're doing. So I would say most guys overextend themselves way too fast, and they get themselves in situations to where the woman is tied to somebody else. So what happens is a woman will get out of a relationship, or the baby daddy ain't acting right, or she's separated from the husband, right? And then this guy meets her, and the woman is nice or whatever, and in his mind it's like, oh, this is my everything, and he starts to pour everything into the woman, right? What happens 3 months later when the baby daddy call her back? Oh, I miss my family. So she either ghosts him or sabotage. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys don't know where they went wrong. So I would say that's probably the main problem that a lot of guys make. Overextending themselves with the wrong people.
I think that you hit on something that isn't discussed a lot when you said that the overwhelming majority, based on your experience, the overwhelming majority of men are not, so to speak, players or good with women. However, that may be what women experience, because that's who they tend to choose, the players and the ones who know how to finesse. So are we then saying that a majority of the gentlemen aren't getting a lot of play? Like a majority of the men that you work with have a hard time with women?
Overwhelmingly. It's insane. When I first got into this, I thought I was just going to be talking to guys like me. Like, I thought I was just going to get in here and connect and help guys that was like me, because I've always been good with it. So I've always been that type of guy. But I started to notice that, you know, I would do calls with guys, and it's like, well, I'm still a virgin. I'm 25. And I would get a lot of these types of calls like, well, I haven't had sex in 6 months. Well, the last girlfriend I had was 2-3 years ago. And this is the majority of men. Like the overwhelming majority of men. And they not, a lot of them not bad looking guys. A lot of them have a lot of money. Like, I have clients that's like millionaires that, you know, if they do get a girl, they get taken advantage of, you know. So, yeah, a lot of guys are clueless.
Okay, so I was just about to ask, how do you define good with men, with women versus not good with women?
I would say being able to get a favorable outcome, with, you know, get what you want out of a deal while also giving the woman what she wants out of the deal. I would consider that being good with women, because if I have to, and I say that because if I have to lie and swindle somebody and, you know, take from them, that just makes you a swindler. But a guy who's good with women is a guy who can, it's like a good businessman. Both people can leave a business deal, you know, happy or profitable. And so most guys don't know how to do that.
Understood. Understood. So I know that you primarily work with men, but do you have any experience with the mistakes that women are making on the dating scene?
As far as the coach,
Yeah, just like based on what your clients are telling you.
I
What do you find?
I typically don't coach women, but I think the main problem women have, from what I've seen, I do get women hit me up, is women don't know who to pour into and who not to pour into. And meaning a lot of the times women go into situations and they, just like the guy overextends himself, to the woman, a lot of women kind of pour into men who don't have it in them to pour back. And, you know, they can only offer sex or whatever they can offer. And women expect this to change, or women expect somehow this guy to be able to fill a cup that he don't have the water to put in the cup to even fill it. And women get frustrated at that. I would say that, and not understanding the difference between sexual attraction and I want to make you my wife attraction. It's a complete difference. Like a lot of women don't understand that difference.
So tell us, what does it look like? How does the behavior vary coming from a man towards a woman that he's seeking?
Now I will say this: the sexual element is always going to be there. So even if I see you as a wife, or if I think you are wifey material, I'm still sexually attracted to you. So it's not like all men want is sex. That's not the case, but all men do want sex, right? But that's not all we want, depending on you. So a man who sees you as more will open himself up to, you know, provide more, to help more, to see to it that you're good, and not just with money. Because if a dude had a lot of money and he a dirtbag, or he don't see you like that, so a lot of guys, it ain't nothing. It's just like buying a pair of shoes. So a lot of the times women think, oh, well, he breaking me off, or, you know, he bought me a TV and shit, he must care. That don't really mean nothing to a dude with a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? It's making sure you okay, making sure you straight, making sure you elevated, making sure you safe, making sure your soul is safe, making sure you comfortable, that type of shit. And men typically, especially men who know what they're doing, typically don't reserve that part of ourselves for women we don't see anything with. Like if I don't see a future with a woman, she's not going to get that type of access to me, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So then the advice would be for women to pay attention to the actions, right? So not obviously, as you said, most men are going to want to be involved sexually, but it's some that only
all men want to be involved sexually. Don't ever get that twisted. That's another thing women don't understand. It always starts with sex. When I look at you, I don't see, she may make a great money. I don't see that. I don't even know you. I saw she's cute. Boom, right? And so as we talk, then we start to see the value. And it's like, okay, I want more. But sex is all men, not most, everybody. You know, unless he's like, you know, homosexual, or not to say anything bad, but unless he's like a gay friend or something like that, or like a brother, all men sexualize you.
Understood.
It just is what it is.
So the issue is now, right? Since we said, all right, let's go with the all. I just like to use most just in case, like to make sure.
Ain't no more. Ain't no more, because ain't one man said he lying.
Okay.
In the comments.
So if all men want sex, some of them only want, some of them may want more, then how do women know when to give it up and when not to, right? Because if I think even the good ones, then I'm not going to know whether or not I should hold out, and then the 90-day rule. And so how do women navigate that then?
I think women, first of all, and that's another thing women do today that they shouldn't. I think women should stop dating men who they don't really like that. Just going on dates. I think women shouldn't stop having sex with men who they don't like that. I don't think a woman should even go on a date unless she says, okay, I like him, I'm sexually attracted to him, and I see something with him. A lot of the times, we're in a dating culture where we're just going on dates and just doing shit for fun and just whatever. I don't think women should do that. That's first and foremost. And I think that women should learn how to provide men value, because it's based on how I see you, is based on what you present to me, right? And so, yeah, we want sex, but we want more. But how do I know if there's more? Just like me, like I teach guys to position themselves so that when a woman look at you, you look like a catch, you look like a prize. Make sure your house is clean. Set your house up this way. Say this. Lead this. Do this. Do this. Right? Teaching them in a way to provide value so the woman sees more. Women don't. A lot of women are not taught how to provide a man value. And there's low effort ways you can do that. You don't have to overextend yourself. But if I meet you, you can be the sexiest woman in the world. You can be the most feminine woman in the world. But if I meet you and I see nothing past sex, that has nothing to do with me. That's everything to do with you and the way that you present it to me. So I think women should learn how to not be a wife on the first date, but learn how to show men their value.
So
the man can see. And that's just subjective. That's just subjective. That's subjective based on what men want. But typically men, for a man like me, myself, right? Let's say a woman come to my house. We're going to date and a woman come to my house. She spend the night. The women who said oh, you should organize it like this. If you organize it like this, you can do, you can be more efficient. Like little things like that stand out to me. Versus, oh, where are we going next? Because now you like a bill, right? Or, I get up and use the bathroom and she make the bed, something that takes 10 seconds. Like little things like that. It's like, okay, she's not just going to be a bill. Or, just in little ways, like
trying to improve or add value
to a person. Yeah, you don't have to, and you don't even have to do that through sex. Like the women who come to my house and they do little stuff like that, they automatically get my attention, automatically. Versus the ones like, oh, well, when are we going out next? Where are we going next? Oh, I won't be calling you back.
Right. Understood. So there's a culture, and I'm sure that you've experienced this, of ghosting on both ends. Men who are no longer interested in women, women who are no longer interested in men. What advice do you offer your clients in regards to how to break things off when they realize that something is an inappropriate match?
I don't too much touch on that. I teach most, like I say, most guys are not throwing away women. Most guys don't throw away women. Most guys, I would say most guys, even the ones who good with women, don't typically. Now, guys that's my age, yeah, but most of the guys that follow me have a hard time getting women enough. So they ain't just, oh, it ain't working. Most guys, you can't even pay them to leave a woman. So that's not something I really have to deal with. I typically have to deal with, oh, she ghosted me, or she ghosted me, or what do I do? But again, most guys are not leaving women. Even the guys who somewhat good with women, especially the younger ones, they'll mistreat you before they throw you away, because validation from women is not hard. It's not easy to come by. Getting sex from women and getting validation from women that's not an easy thing to accomplish. So it's like when we get it, we keep it, even if we don't plan on taking care of it. Trying to lock it in. You see what I'm saying? So that's not something I typically have to talk about.
Okay, understood. So what I'd like to do is to offer folks in the audience an opportunity to ask Dre or myself a question. So you could go ahead and drop that question in the question queue. I'm not going to hold you too long, Dre. I know that your time is valuable, but I did want to give folks the opportunity real quick if they wanted to ask you or myself a question. Please make sure you drop it in the question queue, not in the comments. In the comments are coming too fast. We won't be able to see it. So Dre, in the meantime, while we wait for these questions to come in, can you tell us, how do we connect with you? Who's your ideal client? Who should be collecting with you? How does all that work?
I typically only deal with men ages 18 to 60, really. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok. Well, I got too many followers on. I get too many messages on TikTok. All of my handles, even YouTube and Facebook, is King Dreism, KINGDREISM. So you can pretty much find me there.
And so that 18 to 60 group, that man, what does that man look like? Your ideal client? What does he come to you with?
All of them. I deal with everything. The guy who getting out of divorce, the kid in college who can't get laid, the guy with the baby mama who having problems, the player who's trying to get more women because he got 2, so now he want more. The guy who wants to keep women long term. It's just all flavors, really.
Understood. Understood. All right. We have 4 questions, so we'll stop it at there once the
Mhm.
questions are appropriate, and let's see what we have here. So someone asked, do you connect men with quality women? I guess, Mina, do you do any kind of matching?
No, but I'm gonna get into that soon. I'm gonna get into that soon, but I don't.
Okay. Me neither. Just in case anyone was asking, I also don't do matching. It's a different animal. So coaching usually means that you're taking someone from where they are now to get them to their end result so that they can be successful in whatever their goal is. Matching is based on the assumption that you're already there. Like you already know how to function, you already know how to navigate, and all you need is someone to make that connection. So
Right.
Next question. What do you do when you're married and your wife steps out and has a baby on you?
Divorce. That's a non-negotiable. That's out. That's a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's there's no amount of like your mental health is everything. Your peace is everything. You know, if you got to give up half your shit, give up half your shit because it's not worth your mental health. It's not worth stress. When your body is stressed, your blood pressure high, and that does damage to your organs and shit. It's not where you got to value yourself more than that. So, wife, girlfriend, kid, baby mama. I think once a woman step out like that, it's pretty much game over. And you know, if you take her back, she ain't never gonna stop anyway. So, you know.
And I would agree if it were vice versa. Like, absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. Other than like basic respect, right? At the end of the day, this means that if he's a good man to this woman and he's a good man overall, then that means that he's going to want to be a father. He's going to be spending time outside of the household, outside of your household with this child. And you would want that because you're a decent human being, right? That means that the finances that was being poured into your household is now being poured into somebody else's. So other than the emotional element, it's just a hot mess express. It's not worth it. Now, what do you think about cheating overall, Dre? Is there anything that can be done about that kind of forgiveness?
No, absolutely not. I teach men to like if you ever feel like a lot of guys, we feel like we have to do that. Like I've cheated before when I was younger. I was way younger, right? I've cheated before, but I didn't know any better, right? I didn't understand that you can be honest with people, and they're more than likely, you know, respect you for being honest. And if you provide them enough value, they're more than likely to look at the other way. I realized that, and I started implementing that. So I teach men to don't cheat and don't do shit like that. Number one, because it makes your character bad, and when your character's bad, everything around you bad. It stresses you out. It's too much stress. And number two, you ain't gonna beat no woman at that game. Women have a way easier time accessing sex, and they can they can access the guy who you like look up to and shit. Like I've had guys who, you know, they cheated on their girls, and their girls, you know, went behind their back and screwed the rapper that they like, or you know, screwed the guy that they was getting their drugs from or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I think women, that's a cold game to play with women, and I don't think they should do that because they're not willing to, but I don't think they realize the capacity that women have to do you dirty, basically. I think women have a capacity to do you dirty in ways that you ain't even ready for. So just don't even play that game. If you get to a point to where you need to step out, hey, listen, I'm not feeling the way this is going. This needs to change. If it don't change, can we open this thing up? And if we can't, if you're not getting your needs met, then just leave.
Understood. Someone asked, is it normal for a man to say that he loves you and wants a future with you, but disappears or is inconsistent with communication?
Is it normal or is it right? It's normal. But it's normal, but it's not right. I mean, dudes do that shit all the time. I think that's bullshit because that creates, like I was saying, that creates the cycle. Now that girl, right? That girl, I'm pretty sure is a woman, asked that question. That woman is going to be hurt, and then she's gonna get one of my guys and run all over him, right? And it's just a vicious cycle. So I don't think it's right, but it is normal because dudes do it all the time. And it's not the majority of dudes doing shit like that though. Because again, most dudes can't even get a date from a woman.
It's the ones that we're choosing. Okay. And then my last question for you is, what do you teach your clients about moving forward in relationships? When do they move in? When do they commit? When do they get married? What's that process like?
I typically give guys like a vetting guide, like, you know, first I tell guys to create their program. What does your program look like? What do you want? What do you want in life? What do you like? What's your dislikes? What are your boundaries, right? You write this on a piece of paper. Now, when you meet a woman that you're interested in, you take some time to get to know her. Don't rush things. See what it's like when you, see what it's like when you guys get into a conflict. See what it's like when, you know, she stay at your house for a week. You know what I'm saying? There's really no time limit. I don't really teach a time, but if all of your boxes are checked, you know, and the woman is treating you good and the woman is adding value to your life, why wait? I teach guys women ain't gonna wait for you forever. And that's one of the things that I learned the hard way. As a guy who has been able to get women, I was always non-committal. And my mistake when I was younger was I would think that women would wait around for me forever because I just had it like that and I'm just so good and all that shit. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. So I do tell guys that when the stars align on paper and, emotionally, then, do what you have to do. But it ain't really no time frame on that.
Understood. I lied. One more question for you because it's a real good one.
Keep them coming.
Where can we locate these guys? I'm asking for the single ladies because it's real questionable out here. Where do you recommend that women go to meet good guys?
The mirror. Make yourself a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And good guys are everywhere. When you make yourself, like I was saying earlier, if men don't see nothing in you, that's because you're not present. Either A, you getting with a man that don't want to see it. Like, if you would have met me when I was 25, there was nothing that you can do to get me to want to be with anybody when I was 25, because I already had who I was dealing with, right? But that's easy to see. Now, like old girl said, that's BS. That's not BS. What I was saying too was when you have to make yourself into who you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys hit me up all the time. How do I get a dime? How do I get a dime? They fat, they broke, they average, they not in shape, they don't got good credit. Like, how do you expect? They insecure as fuck. Excuse me. They insecure. They depressed. Why would any woman who has worked on herself, who, was disciplined enough to not let herself get overweight, disciplined enough to keep her shit together, why would she fuck with you when she can go fuck with a dude like me or go fuck with a dude that got his shit together? You see what I'm saying? That's the same applies to women. Why would I fuck with a woman who don't really meet my standards? And that is in the mirror. That good person that you're looking for is in the mirror. And if anybody believe in spirituality or if you believe in God, then you are what you attract, basically.
So what you're saying is number one, be reflective and honest about how you're presenting to the world and work on you.
Right.
And then number two, making better choices by using discernment. Pay attention to how that gentleman is treating you. And if he is offering value, then you continue to see him. If he's not, drop him like a bad habit.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. It's literally that easy. The hard part is looking in the mirror and saying, hey, because a lot of people think they are attractive and they're not. A lot of people think they are attractive to the opposite sex and they're not. They sexually attracted. And most dudes will stick their thing in a hole if it gets slow in the ground at night and nobody. So just because a dude will screw you and kiss you while he's screwing you and look in your eyes, that don't mean nothing, right? It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and say, maybe I'm just not attractive or appealing, or maybe I'm just not wifey material. And a lot of women, they shun that and be like, oh, you don't know what you talk about. Oh, screw you. You hate women. And I don't hate women, but if you want the best, you got to be the best. Period. God said that, not me. So,
yep. All right, Dre, it has been a pleasure. I really appreciate you spending some time with us this evening. Hopefully we can get together on your platform. You can do the interview and I can give some ladies some insight. But I really appreciate your time.
I got you. Appreciate that. I appreciate you for having me.
Yes. Have a good one. Good night. Good night, everybody.
All right. Thank you.